Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. Presented by Carolina Lightweight. Come flip with us. When the action begins in the studio, our referees for tonight's event are Gato, Azul, and Carolina Real Streamers. For the viewers in attendance and Facebook and YouTube users around the world, this is the moment you've all been waiting for. Live from the Gato Azul TV studio in Louisville, Texas, it's time! What's up, slime lovers? I'm your host, Chris, a.k.a. El Gato Azul. My partner in slime over the top on the opposite side over there is Mr. Jamie Dunn, Carolina Lightweights.
What's up? What's up?
The legend in the middle is the Flathead hunter, Brandon Ladd. So,
how's it going, everybody?
What's up, brother?
Coming on, Brandon. Tonight we're going to be talking all things Flathead Catfish, some tournament fishing, and who knows what else we'll get into. But
Ain't no telling.
That's a scary thought.
No one
like
thing.
that backdrop you got going over there, Brandon.
Oh yeah, that was my Christmas gift for. That was my Christmas gift from the kid and the wife.
Oh yeah, it looks real good.
It does.
So for guys that don't know you, I think most everybody probably knows you, but for anybody that doesn't, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm Brandon Ladd. I live here in Clarksville, Tennessee. Fish the Cumberland River, mainly the upper section towards Cheatham Dam. I fish a lot of the same area as Micah Burkhart does. Actually friends with him. Fished this last tournament this weekend with him. Whooped my butt. Lost a bet on that one.
Y'all fished against him, right? Didn't your brother fish with him?
Yeah, my brother was with him, and I had another guy that fishes with us a lot. His partner couldn't show up, so he hopped on the old catnapper with me. It was a terrible bite for us.
Did you get that catnapper ironed out? You've been having a lot of problems past.
She's good to go. We put a 115 Mercury 4-stroke on it now. It just, an '08, it just hit 103 hours.
It's brand new. You still got to break it in.
Yeah, so we're doing it now. We're back on it.
Heck yeah, brother.
Got a tournament Sunday. Gonna be fishing the upper side of our river where I like to fish. We had a bunch of rain come in. I think it was it Monday? Yeah, Monday night. We had about 2.5 inches of rain hit here. So hopefully we got some current for Sunday. I'm definitely going to be flathead fishing.
What's y'all's water temps been?
Down in Dover towards where Micah was last weekend, it ranged from 68 to anywhere to 71.
Yeah, that's prime right there. It's prime pre-spawn water.
Which some of the blues, like if anybody watches Micah's videos, they're already full of eggs.
Oh yeah. Our water's mid to high 70s already. They're on their bed. They've moved onto their beds the last week or so. Or they're moving up into that area.
Yeah, we're still
on the prowl.
Yeah, we're still hitting around the low 70s ourselves here. Like I said earlier, I noticed the brim are starting to move up a little bit, hitting the beds, and I know the shell crackers is on the bed, so
yeah, everything's. I generally look for that threadfin spawn. Once it's over, it's pretty much big fish season's done. They go do the big ones start before the little ones, so they go find the prime habitat.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, this weekend I think I'll be hunting for the flathead bite. And I'm actually rigging up rods while we speak, trying to get some leaders made, depending on what we're gonna do.
All our creeks and rivers are flowing, so I don't know about what y'all, but
we ain't got much flow at all right now. I'd have to look at the app, but I don't even think it was 7,000 coming out of the generators.
I think we might try to hit and do some fishing tomorrow night. I'm not 100% sure, but we might try to get tomorrow night after some flatheads.
Let's run through here, see who's in here tonight. We got Russell Rhodes. Welcome in, Russell. Been a while. Where you been, boy? RV. He's been up in his RV or riding his motorcycle.
Hey, don't let him tell you he's working. He don't never work.
He done sold all his fishing rods. We got Micah Burkhart, King of Tennessee. Welcome in, bro.
What's up, buddy?
Alex, Texas Fishing. I think that's a new name. That doesn't sound familiar. Welcome in, Alex. Joshua Davis, welcome in, buddy. Pontoon Jody. I saw that you had said first, but I guess they deleted your comment because you're an outlaw. But looks like y'all got some good ones this past week. Bruce Journey, welcome in, Bruce. We got the shitty fisherman trying to get himself in shape so he can get remarried.
Good luck, buddy.
I need to get myself in shape. I'm about to hit 50. I want to get myself in shape before I can't do it anymore.
Chris, you talking about that? Me coming on earlier talking to you. Our daughter graduated college tonight, one of our daughters, and we went over to Broadway at the beach and went to Paula Dean's restaurant, rushed over here to the show. I'm sitting here.
Put on 5 pounds in one meal.
Man, I got some peach cobbler and all kinds of stuff.
You know, when I turned 40, I quit being able to get rid of it so easy. It sticks with me, man. I eat double too now. So living the good life, boys.
That's what I'm talking about.
Clayton the fishing nut. Welcome in, Clayton. Looks like you're in here twice. Billy Bever, welcome in, Billy. How you doing, buddy? Appreciate you guys stopping in. We're going to be talking with Brandon tonight about flathead catfish, some tournament angling. You guys got any questions you want to put them in chat, shoot them to us, and we'll get Brandon to answer them.
I've got my YouTube on too, so I can read all the comments also on my phone.
Good deal.
He's our team flathead aficionado, him and his brother, flathead catching machine. So
there's the main one this weekend.
Oh yeah, that thing's sexy. You got the red. You got the red. You got any particular reason you're going with the red?
I would tell everybody that reason, but a lot of people should know. That one I try to keep to a secret to a lot of people doesn't know.
Great minds think alike, brother.
I love red.
Oh yeah. You went with
most of my rigs gonna have something by the hook that's red, pink, something that looks like an injury on a fish.
There's the pink shockwaves.
Yeah.
No, seriously though, red is a color that catfish can't see very well.
Oh yeah. So you're thinking they don't want to see you're hiding that rattle from them.
Yeah, hiding it, but still giving that bait the feel of it.
So for guys that don't know, there was a study done on what colors catfish do prefer to hit, and it was pretty astounding which color they actually go after more than others. It's blue.
Mm-hmm.
So put that in your database for guys that want to add a little flash to their rig so that the fish will attack it more. Blue is the color that they're attracted to. So it's been a long time since I've seen that study, but it was in, I think, In Fisherman magazine. They ran like a blue rig through a tank 5,000 times or something, and then they did red, and then they did orange, and that blue got hit considerably more. So
Chris, we've got our first question of the night right there. Micah says, "Hey Brandon, how can I catch flatheads?"
Just ask him. He posted one today. So
Yeah, I saw he caught his last fish was a good one.
yeah, the last fish of the day was a flathead, probably 35, 40 pounder. They should be turning on big time.
That's
I'm
my
loving.
local boy Jimmy Hendricks right there. What's
Hoping
up,
it's
Jimmy? My old fishing buddies moved away. We don't get to fish next to each other anymore. But
Well, my partner for this weekend's in the chat. Me and Brian fish only one tournament series together. I've been fishing with another guy, Joshua Davis. He's usually in here with us.
Matt Jones says landscapers are top-notch people, and I'd have to agree with that. Landscapers, best
I
people
love
I've ever met in my life.
That's a good man right there, Mr. Matt.
Yeah, we had Matt on the show. It was a fun show.
How you doing, Miss Paula?
We got Catfish Junkie up in the house. What's up, buddy?
Mr. Billy Beaver. I do not catch most of my flatheads during the night. I will catch flatheads during the night, but my biggest ones have came midday.
Most of my buddies fish for them, catch them during the day, but they're guides. So,
yeah,
you know, it's a different style of fishing. When you fish for them at night, it's a little different. You're fishing for fish that are on a roam feed, and then when you're fishing for them in the daytime, you're fishing for them they're more so piled up in structure, or I would say structure in cover.
At nighttime,
going into where they're at. And my buddy, like, I've got some really high level guide buddies that target them, and they say when they're fishing for them at night, they kind of set up to where they think they're going to
go
move.
Yeah, that's the way we do it here, Chris. Pretty much, we're going to set up in front of them, and as the night goes along, they're going to move up towards us pretty much.
Like this section of the river we're on, it's narrow and shallow. Mainly, like the most you're going to see is 30 foot, if that. And it's probably, I could cast probably from bank to bank. And at nighttime, if I was going to fish nighttime, I'll be shallow up on the bank in some structure.
Yeah.
And just sit there.
Yeah. That's
how Mosley.
Welcome. That's how we pretty well do it here on our rivers. It's love the structure shallower at night.
Yeah, and if a creek mouse around, if they can actually get in, that'd be even better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Find the bait.
What's up, Dimitri? Seen some 100-pounders coming out of your area lately. Need to come visit you. Go see if we can get us one.
I need the state record flathead, so Micah can't find it.
Russell was asking, Brandon, what's your go-to bait for flatheads?
Right now, springtime, I'm gonna go bluegill, live bluegill. I will cut skipjack heads off and use them. A lot of people know me. If you look at my bait board during a tournament or anytime I'm fishing, there's gonna be nothing but skipjack bodies on the bait board.
Y'all got slick new bait board on the boat, right?
Yeah, Mr. Knickknacks has got us hooked up.
Yep, he does quality work.
Oh, I'm loving it. I finally got it mounted. It took me forever to mount it. I was waiting on Colton's new bait quick release, but
yeah, my buddy Matt Mosley got his today, so yours is probably on the way.
Yeah, I definitely.
I gotta say, I was one of the first ones to get one of Knickknack's boards when he first started making them. They're working hard, man. I love mine.
I'm still doing pictures with mine. Did you got me?
It's too beautiful to put on the boat, huh?
Man, we take a lot of pictures on that bait board here at Carolina Lake Weeks, that's for sure.
I like the bait board. It's definitely a lot sturdier or not sturdier, wider,
Yeah.
and it holds a lot more of my skipjack bodies. I found that out this past weekend.
We've got a new program we're about to start. First, let's show this kid. One of our teammates, Ricky Garza, he's a guy down in South Texas. He's been putting these kids on giants this year. I think it's one of the coolest things we do at Carolina Lake Weights, this kid of the week. So Edgar Murillo, he got him a 50-pound Falcon Lake monster, got him into the 50-pound club. And we got some new things we're going to be rolling out at Carolina Lake Weights. Some decals we're going to be giving out to people. Let Jamie put Jamie up there.
There you
Hang on, Jamie. I'm going to get you in there, buddy.
go.
Yeah, buddy. Those are pretty cool. So we're going to be giving them away to people from time to time, but you can also buy them on the website. Y'all got them on the website yet, Jamie?
They will be on the website by this weekend. We will have these up there. Right now, we got from 20 pounds. In honor also of our man that's in chat, Mr. Mike, we also got this club all the way up to a 120-pound club.
Don't show him that.
He's going to. Yeah,
There
we made
you
that one special for him. So
Yep. So,
Not too many people ever gonna see that.
so what we're going to be happy to do is, Chris, am I right? We're going to be starting a new segment on the show where we're going to be giving one away every week to a either a kid with new PB or whatever you're thinking there, that we're going to be honoring.
yeah,
And,
we're going to try to find somebody who's caught a fish, their best fish.
Yep.
And then we're going to try to bring them up. I know if it's a kid, it might be difficult because our show is late. But that's the plan, to generate a little excitement.
Yep.
That'd be good.
That way we can bring them up for a couple minutes and honor them, have them to tell us their story of how they caught the fish, and we can honor them with a new PB sticker. So that's going to be something very cool, something that the Slime Show and us here at Carolina Lake Weights have been wanting to do for a long time, and we're honored to be able to do it.
Got a lot of guys wanting the 4-leaf clover on their boat. And I said, well, we're about to roll something out. You can get it.
That's it.
So
there they are, guys.
Yeah, guys, they'll be available on the website. Billy, you said you need one. Team members are all going to get their PB decal.
Yeah, we're gonna send each one of our team members their PB. We're gonna send them out to those, take care of them, and then, like I said, that's gonna be something new to the show also, to introduce and give somebody to come up, or a kid to come up, or once a week during the show, take 5 or 10 minutes, tell us the story how they caught the fish, and give them their sticker.
We're going to send some out to our supporters too, guys that are with us, guys that are a big part of what we're doing, guys that want to be a part of what we're doing, guys that are friendly to us, people that bring something to the table. Doesn't matter if you're catching fish, just being a supporter, just being a nice person. If we see you doing something for someone else, things like that. So,
yep. Rebecca is right now. She says she is printing those right now for the team. So she's on top of it right now. And like I said, by the weekend, we will have also on the website that you can purchase at a very, very cheap price for your personal self too. Also,
Can you
Bruce,
make
I
it
told
one?
Bill you guys can come down. But you're going to want to wait till at least October through, basically through the end of April's our big fish season. We'll get a 30 every trip. So just come on down. We'll get a 50. So come on down. We'll get you boys a couple PBs, baby.
Miss Paula, I've got it waiting on you right there, Miss Paula. As soon as you catch that 120, I got you right there. So there it is.
Rebecca said printing those right now for the team. So you guys that are on the team want one, let Rebecca know.
Yes.
We'll get you one out. Paula says, get my 120 club ready.
Got it right here.
Tell her she got to fish the Cumberland first.
That's probably when the 120 is coming on the boat. So
Got to get off the Tennessee River and come fish the Cumberland for that.
Oh.
Come fish the shallow narrow water. I see a comment, but
that's just one of several new things that we're going to be doing here at Carolina Lake Weights.
Josh says Brandon can hit a flathead right in the head when slinging.
That I can. If I can see it, if I can actually tell it's a flathead on the graph, I'll pinpoint him.
Billy says Kyle Beaver, 75 pounds. That was an awesome fish, Billy.
Yes.
That got me fired up seeing him holding that fish.
Jason Rhodes,
55. Cadence with the 35.
had asked the question.
Donnie with the 52.
Yeah, Brandon, Russell was asking you a while ago about, I believe, also your go-to bait, and I believe you answered that when I was trying to see if he had another one there for you.
I think he did. Something about, do I use only one length of leader, or do you put out different length? I actually put out different lengths, but when I'm anchor fishing, I'll go no more than 24 inches. It's about as long as I will go.
Snagged up too, right? Less snags because you're sending it right up in there amongst the jungle.
Yeah. That's another thing. A lot of people like to use three ways. We use sinker slides when we're fishing structure like that.
But you're usually in a little bit of current, right?
Yeah.
You're upstream.
You're throwing
down. You're throwing, casting down. That's you're able to do that with a little current.
Yeah, a little bit, and I like it also too. Say it's only, I don't know, half mile an hour. You're barely got any current. You throw a big piece of bait out. Well, when you cast it, what usually happens? The weight stays behind a little bit on the line, and the leader goes on out. Well, a lot of people will sit there and hold it, let the weight hit the bump stop, and you'll feel it. Well, I don't. I let it drop.
Yeah.
Flathead fishing, I want it to drop like that, and the less current where that fish don't pick it up and that weight get pulled. And he feels that tension. I want him to be able to pull.
Yeah, on a sensitive bite, they're not feeling that weight as much.
I probably only had 3 flatheads ever smoke a rod over. They're usually that. And then all of a sudden it just go down.
Yeah, that's the majority of what we've had with our flatheads. I mean, you can just kind of watch it. It's like a slow motion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of times people will miss the bite if you ain't paying attention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially at nighttime.
You got Epic Catfish. He says I fish with one rod.
Yeah.
Because I got my finger on the trigger. He's like, I already know where the fish is.
Yeah.
It's there. And you got to be ready for him. Because if I guess he's the best flathead fisherman I've ever seen in my life. Dude's incredible.
Yeah, you gotta be on them. Like a lot of people will get on to me. Like I'll sit there and watch it. And once I see that thing, which I use medium heavy rods.
Yeah.
Just for flathead fishing. I like sometimes to use mediums, but the current will get up so much it'll just pull them mediums over too much.
You know, Matt Jones said he likes a real soft tip on his.
That's why I like the medium heavies, because on the now I run all the carbines too.
It seemed like the carbine makes.
They're all on the ceiling right now. I'm trying to get the camera angle.
Tornado blowing through.
I was like, what in the world?
I'm in the fishing room. So
Hellfire storms come through last night. My buddy tried to go fish up at Texoma, and he's like, I couldn't even fish the inlet. There was so many whole trees that guess that storm was so hardcore. Russell said, what action rod do you like best for flatheads? I think he just answered that. He's medium heavy, sometimes medium.
I even got 2 heavies just for the. I got the heavy carbines too, so there ain't no movement in them.
Mr.
Brody's
Billy.
been doing pretty good on the flatheads. Well, she's been on the blues lately.
Yeah, I seen she catching some big ones. I ain't been on the blues. The blues have been fighting me this year. I haven't caught a decent fish in a while.
Y'all been broke down. Hell.
Yeah, but I still get the fish, man. We got so many tournament anglers here in our hometown. Like, we average anywhere from 15 to 20 boats a tournament.
Hey, don't you have a mohawk on your motor?
Yeah, I just put it on there.
I want to give you props on that. I said, look at it, boy. That right there gives it some character.
It does.
The guy I fish with, he's got a Sea Art 200 Pro Cat, and we went down and fished the Sea Art tournament last week or weekend before.
Yeah.
And we had been talking, and I said, man, you know, what would set that boat off would be a mohawk on that motor. Well, he ordered his, and I ordered mine. His came in. Mine got lost in shipment, so I had to rewrite them back.
Now everybody's saying you copied him, even though it was your idea.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was going to put some big green spikes on my motor, but I couldn't find any. I'm like,
look on Amazon. They on Amazon. I seen them.
I didn't see, man. That's where I looked. All they had, the biggest I saw, it's been a year or so, but it's biggest I saw were 50 millimeter, which, you know, is not too. I wanted some big ones, you know.
Yeah, you want them big ones.
Yeah, I want some big green ones, you know, set that freaking motor off.
Wow.
Either that or I wanted some, you know, like shark fin looking claws on that thing. I'm
just gonna put it out there. I'm happy to have my old girl back home.
I bet.
Oh shoot! I went down with a damn transmission 2 weeks ago.
Oh man!
I got the boat back going. Then transmission goes in the truck.
I just dealt with that. I gotta have to get me a new truck. Mine's 10 years old, man. It's
I told Rebecca
10.
It's like having your best friend. It's like having your best friend disappear for a couple weeks. Man, you start missing them and like, oh, where's my boat at, man?
Yeah.
And I was like, great God, I got to have it back. Well, when they called me yesterday and said it was ready, I jumped in the truck, myself and Rebecca. We drove about an hour and a half, went and picked her up and brought her right back home.
What's up, Chuck? Welcome in, buddy. Mr. Bite Lights in the house.
What's up, Chuck?
Y'all give us a thumbs up. Go over to Carolina Lake Weights on YouTube and subscribe. Go over to Flathead Hunter Brandon Ladd. What's your channel name, Brandon?
I don't know. I can't tell you because all I do is watch YouTube videos on it. I don't make them.
Hey guys, also check us out on TikTok.
Flathead Hunter 1987 on TikTok.
There you go.
Yep, we're normally on TikTok every night.
If you're on Facebook, come over to Gato Azul TV on YouTube and give us a like or a subscribe or whatever they're calling it these days.
Yeah, I'm not the big internet guru like my brother is. I don't get on as much. I work too damn much. And when I ain't working on fishing, or taking care of this little. I got a 7-month-old in there.
Yeah, that's good stuff. Well, you're about to get into the fun times right now. You're looking pretty good for having a 7-month-old. Hell, I look like a damn zombie about that
Yeah.
stage.
She lets me
Mine didn't
sleep
sleep.
because I have to go to work, but
Mine
shit.
didn't sleep. It's like, damn, when's this kid gonna sleep?
Well,
I thought there was this phrase called "sleep like a baby."
well,
Mine,
you know, it helps when you have a man cave and you can go in there and lay down on the couch and go to sleep instead of being in that bed and hearing it all night. So she helps me out with that a lot.
Chris, that phrase you were hearing is when you're up for 24 hours, then you get to finally go rest, then you sleep like a baby.
yeah, yeah. Not when you got a 7-month-old. You're like, what? Is he up?
You're right about that.
It's like, damn, you're shell shocked. It's like being in war.
Well, that and you got a 11-year-old running around the house crazy too.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, yeah. I got a freaking 8-year-old. Man, his football's finally done Saturday. Soccer's done on Sunday.
Hey,
Woo!
give me a minute. I'll be right back. My battery's fixing to die on this computer.
But yeah, Chris. I mean, we got a lot of stuff we get ready to do here at Carolina Lake Weights, man.
Yeah,
A lot of exciting stuff.
Let everybody give everybody a hint. What's going on?
Well, I've done let the cat out bag a little bit. We got a new rig that's going to be coming out very soon. So, matter of fact, we're releasing that rig for a subject that we're actually talking about tonight. It's going to be the brand new Flathead rig that's coming out very soon.
Nice. So, what size hooks?
That one's gonna be. You can get it with the brand new 12-aught hook that we haven't put on the website yet. That is coming. So we do now have the big 12-aught hooks that's in stock. We will be releasing those very soon. But if you have a special hook that you would like to get on them, once we release them, all you have to do is message me, and I can give you whatever size hook you want on that rig. So that's one of the things. Of course, we were just showing off the new PB stickers. That's one of the things also, and we got a few more things up our sleeve. So just stand by and see what happens next. Yep, that's it right there, man.
I'm gonna get a stack of them so I can start giving them out to my people on the boat.
Yes, sir.
Right,
they really turned out nice, man. They really did. And like I said, if anybody's got any custom decal work they need, they can get with us. We now have a industrial decal machine, so we can
What's an
definitely help them out.
industrial?
It is a big decal machine. It's not one of the cricket size.
Oh yeah. So what's the so for guys that want, let's say Brandon's got some sponsors and he wants to put them on his boat. How big can you go?
Rebecca, if I'm not right, 20 to 22, and as long as you want them. So we can do them.
That's good size. So for a lot of boats, the water line, you don't get much more than about 15, 20 inches.
Yeah.
I get a lot more than that.
Yeah, I got a lot more than that too, but I asked Jamie, I was like, well, he can do them in two, like half,
Yeah.
Comes in two pieces and then you just marry it together.
We can go on up a little bit. I'm not sure exactly I know we can do them as long as you want, and as wide, pretty much we can go what you want. So, and I think as soon as we get to know the machine a little bit better, we can also do standard size banners also. I haven't figured that part out yet. Rebecca's working hard to figure all that stuff out. So we can do it all. Bake towels, decals, shirts, hats, everything.
Russell says, big old swamp donkey hook, 12-0.
Right there. Well, which way is the camera?
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah, I like the gap on that.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, you got plenty of room in there. Got to with them big flathead mouths.
That's gonna hook them right in the same place.
Big blues too, man.
I don't know. That 62-pound flathead I caught had the biggest tooth patch I've ever seen on a fish.
Man, we caught a couple 3 weeks ago that they had a freaking tooth patch and a jaw like a Red Bull can. I might have a picture still in here. Let me see. Look at that.
Heck yeah.
Oh man, I want one. My season's over, boys.
I'm ready for fall.
Yeah.
Yeah, October. Can't
Yeah.
get here quick enough, man.
You ain't lying. I got a week off of work in October, too. We're taking off for a fall break for the kids. And I'm calling it fishcation
Yeah.
because that's all I'm going to be doing.
We'll be going down to the coast and catching some big sharks. So pray that the water's not all messed up and freaking last trip we went, it was, man, not good. The ocean was rolling.
I wish we had some current last tournament and not the wind. It seems
The
like
wind-
every tournament we've had in the past 2 months has been either a cold front comes in the weekend.
Yeah. That was the whole year for us this winter. I mean, every weekend we had a front blowing through.
Now it's either the cold front blows in or the wind don't stop blowing. And then
that wind's been tough.
Yeah. So I think for 2 months straight, we either had 30-mile-an-hour front hitting, or it's the day after the front and there's no wind, bluebird sky, or it's the day of a day that's like a big west front hitting. We still did well, but it wasn't one of those, it's just freaking the fish are just grabbing it and taking it. Every trip was a battle.
Yeah,
She put up a freaking stink of a fight this year for us.
that Sea Arc tournament we was on Wheeler Lake, and it was blowing directly out of I think it was northeast, and they were calling for 10 to 15, which I wouldn't thought was too bad. First
That's
time
a big
I've ever
lake, though. 15 on a big lake gets oceanic. It's a similar lake to Texoma, which I fish a lot. And
tell him to stay off Facebook. He's at work.
he says my season just begun.
Yeah, flatheads are fixing to ramp up here, I think.
Brandon, y'all had some tornado weather up there also, didn't you? I heard about some sirens going off and stuff like that.
Yeah, we actually had a tornado come through. We was fishing a tournament when that tornado came through. Watched it come through. A buddy of mine was down towards like where Micah lives, which he wasn't that far, but he was probably 8 miles from there. And they watched it come over the sky and hit Fort Campbell.
Yep, I know. Hopefully, if everything goes right, we can make it to the Sea Arc Invitational this coming next time when they have it down there. Really want to make it. I heard there was a lot of fun down there. I heard I saw what was it, 88 pound blue that was caught for that tournament also.
Yeah, 88 was the big fish, and then I think second big fish was 60 something.
Yeah,
I know we took 32nd out of 181 boats, I do believe.
Man, that's cool, brother. That really is.
Josh Davis says, ask Brandon about last October during the Patriot.
Oh, yeah. We did the Patriot event last October, and it was coming dead out of the west on Wheeler Lake. We had 2 or 3 drift socks out and trying to pull boards. That was the craziest wind I've ever been in on Wheeler Lake. besides the night tournament we did down there, and a storm came up on us, and we had 5 or 6 foot swells.
Brother,
But-
I don't know about you, but on the back of that Sea Ark of mine, I had to put me some of them wave whackers.
Yeah, those splash guards.
Yeah.
I ain't got to worry about that in my old deep V. Now, with the Sea Arcs, yeah. But that old deep V, I can ride them waves out. I think it's 20 foot, right at 20 foot. And I'm going to say the sides, with it being in the water, you're looking at, with me standing in it, the sides are up to my waist. And
Nice.
it's a wind catcher, though. It'll catch every bit of that wind coming from the side. But it's fun. I ain't got to worry about them big waves like that.
Yeah, I tell you, man, them Sea Arcs does not like them waves across the back.
No, and that's what we had in the Sea Arc tournament.
Yeah.
Coming sideways backwards at us.
Sometimes those big waves, man, can be an epic trip. You know, if you can bear to.
I haven't wore a life jacket in a tournament until that day. Just put it that way. I left it on, which we had to have them on when blast off, but
yeah,
I didn't take it off until about 1 or 2 o'clock that evening.
Me and my son fished the day that polar front hit this winter, and it was 30 mile an hour. We had 5-foot rollers, man. It was freaking gnarly. The boards were getting white capped over the top. I mean, it's just crazy. And I text my team, I'm out here in these 5-foot rollers, and they're like, no freaking way. And they're like, you ain't gonna catch nothing. I said, well, we're about to find out. And it wasn't 5 minutes. Rod goes down. I'm like, 40. It wasn't another 2 minutes, 30. Then we nailed a 50. Then it's like 4. I'm like, 50, 65.
You gotta love that.
It was epic. So big wind can be awesome, but it can also kick your ass.
It'll make you hurt for a few days later.
Yeah. It makes you, when you lay down at night, feel like you're still rocking.
Hey, when I got done with that tournament down there, the next day I still felt like I was like this the whole day.
Yeah.
Whiplash and all.
Justin Cox said me and Tommy Powell's fishing Texoma when that polar front hit was a long, freezing trek back to the ramp. We were soaking wet. Daniel tore him up that day. I'll tell you what, as awesome of an angler as Daniel did, that was a day that we actually got him.
I see where Joshua put
how we did that day. My son got a record. It was awesome.
Y'all caught the vets caught 26 fish that day. He was just saying.
Yeah, we drug in them. We drug a 30-pound blue for probably 2.5 miles. I kept wondering why this board kept hanging way back, and I was just thinking, I figured it was just on that bottom of the ledge, so it was the furthest rod out, and it just kept. I'm talking about staying back further and everything. I was like, it's probably just the wind, the waves, whatever. Well, we got to moving around. Finally, I was like, I think that thing might have a fish on it. The vet got up and reeled down on it. It was 30-pound blue. Just sitting down there with it.
Get him up there.
Well, the bad thing was it wasn't like he swam up river or anything. He just kept coming along with us. Never pulled on the wall.
I had the weirdest fighting fish I've ever caught this past year. I thought I was hung on the whole way I was bringing it to the boat. I'm like, I think I got some hip waders. I think I got somebody's pair of pants. I'm like, man, this got to be a pretty good sized log. I never felt the tail whip. I was just wrenching it in. Just the whole, it was on a long board. I wrenched that thing all the way to the boat. And when I got it to the top, it was one of those black blue cats with giant bug eyes. And it saw me and just went haywire. I'm like, damn, that's a fish. My son was saying, I wonder if he got some pants.
I was watching that live when you had that, Chris. I was like, no, I got to see what one he's got.
I thought we were. I mean, I never had a fish that never even had a tail not one tail whip, and it was a giant. I mean, it was just dead wet. I was like, this is like reeling in a damn movie chair, you know? Like, what's on this damn thing?
That's crazy.
It ended up being one of the most beautiful catfish that I'd ever caught, and I told Rebecca was on the live. I said, look how ugly this thing is. So ugly, it's beautiful. It's just the eyes were like human-sized eyeballs.
That's some dark blue cats. I guess shallow water then?
No, it was not a shallow water because it was in the dead of winter. All the fish we were catching were like whitish blue, light blue to white. This thing was one of those blue cats. It's like different, you know. It's like black. It's not black from the sun. It's just one of those black pigmented blue cats. Just different. It's like a subspecies. I'm like, this is just a different fish, man.
That's
crazy.
One of them channel and blue cat hybrids.
We've caught some of those. You know, I thought we caught one last trip. It looked crazy. Big, fat, meaty faced. It was, I was like, it's a channel cat. Well, it might be one of these hybrids. They pull different. But that thing, I don't think it had any channel cat in it. I think it was half movie chair. The world record is coming out of the Potomac River, says the Potomac fisherman.
I think it won't be long. Me and Rebecca's gonna go up there and see what all the fuss is about on the Potomac. I believe we're gonna make a trip up there here soon.
I bet y'all freaking smoke them.
Yeah, I believe we were talking about that on the way home today. I believe we're going to go up there and try that place out for 3 or 4 days.
I don't know. I need to get up there with Terry Woodrow.
Potomac says, is there any catfish in Texas? Well,
Chris, just go ahead and give him your Facebook page. Give him all your information.
Oh man.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
We got a few.
I'll be looking at this post on the weekends, and I'm like, man.
Here's a few of our last trips.
That's the one that won the 500, ain't it?
That one is $500. This is the one his wife caught. That we could have entered that one, but I said, let's let somebody else win. That's 83. The other one's 85. Good times, man. It doesn't get much better than that, boys.
That water looks muddy too.
Yeah, that's pretty much right after a big rain. That's at the mouth of the Red River up at Lake Texoma. So,
we got a Red River here, but it's probably the smallest river you ever seen.
Yeah, Mr. Terry's been catching some nice flatheads lately for sure.
Yeah, and I think he's on the Saskatchewan.
You got me, Potomac. You got me, buddy.
He knows how to get you fired up.
Yeah, our lake's got a ton of what I call mid-range blue cats. Tons of 20 to 40 pounders. We catch a bunch of 50s, a few 60s, a few 70s. Maybe 180 a year out of the year. It's not typical for a lot of guys, but we got good fish. They're just, you got to grind your ass off to catch them.
If you got some flow, what's your game plan, brother? How you gonna be fishing for them?
I'm gonna be anchored up in some structure. That's for sure. I got one bank right here in my hometown area. I've caught multiple 50s off of just bounding up, bounding back. It's so much structure on this little section of the river. You can move 50 feet and find a whole nother tree.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's normally how we here on what we call the Great Pee River. I'll actually take the anchor rope and let out and can go over
Go to the next tree.
Go to the next tree and keep bouncing them back like that without even moving the anchor.
Hey, that's my kind of anchoring right there.
Yeah, run 250 feet of rope out.
Lazy. I'm a lazy anchor man.
Well,
I'll do it.
Well, I tell you what I normally like to do. I like tying up. We got a lot of structure that hangs up, comes out the water. So I'll tie to that structure, and I believe I got over 300 feet of rope on the front of it, on the front of the boat, that I can actually just back it up, keep backing it up without even having to untie it.
That's a good thing with spot lock too. As long as it ain't windy, we'll do that too.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's one section, and I've got one hole that I call my honey hole. It's actually my winter hole. That fish that's on the thumbnail that he did came out of this honey hole that I got. And almost every time I go there, I catch a fish out of it until I send somebody else there.
And then they're like, "Here, sent me to this bullshit hole."
Yeah. Bad thing is, the guy I've got partnered up with, he's like, "Ain't nothing here." There's a tree there.
Sent me to the moon.
No, it's like a little eddy, and it's got this big tree sitting out from the eddy. But the day I caught that fish, me and my brother was fishing. It was in a benefit tournament too, and the wind was so terrible in that little section of the river. Usually you can hide from it in our area. Yeah. We can get up on the bank, get up under a good cliff or whatever, and hide from it up there. Well, that day it wasn't no hiding from it. So we beached the boat.
Yeah.
Just pulled up.
I do that a lot too. Because I'm late. I don't like dropping anchors. So if I can put it up on the bank, I like to do that too.
Yeah.
Fish right out the back.
Yep.
I got so many rod holders on my boat. I can flood any little area that's around the boat. So.
Well, we had a bunch of current too that day, and that 54-pound flathead, when it got up to the side of the boat, that was the funnest fight I've ever had with a fish. He got mean. Yeah,
right. I'm gonna be dragging, I hope. So.
He ain't gonna be dragging. He don't know how much rain went east of us is gonna be here by Sunday.
He says, I hope.
He can drag if he wants to. I'll make him some. He'll be ready to go.
Tomic says, I like to get to Louisiana someday. Me too, man. My buddies that hit that southern Louisiana this winter. Man, that was crazy trips they were showing me.
I can't believe how many fish they were catching down there.
Yeah, they
a couple 1,000 pounds.
Yeah.
In a day. I thought we were hammering them. I'm like, damn, I don't even know how you can catch me more big fish than that. But they're like, yeah, you just triple on 40s all day long. Triple up all day long.
And the crazy thing is the water depth down there that they were catching them in 80 to 100 foot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they caught so many 40s. It's crazy. I'm like, well, I'm surprised we didn't see some bigger fish come out of there, but there's bound to be some. You know? Can't all be 40s.
That's crazy that they're so close to weight.
They were putting the smack down on them. Now I'm not gonna lie to you about it.
Yeah. I thought, man, maybe I ought to drag the war machine over there.
If you try to do that,
that'd be worth it.
We'll bring ours and we'll meet you down there, brother.
Yeah, buddy.
I'm ready to go to James River myself.
Yeah. That's one place I'm ready to hit. It won't be long. King of the James will be coming back around. What, around it? Was it November or what was it? October or November? They have it done.
Oh. Don't be jinxing us, Josh.
Hey, there's something to that. Every time I say, man, we're going to freaking just go smoke them, we'll get like one decent fish the whole day. We're out there for 8 hours. I'm like, sorry, I shouldn't have opened my mouth. God has a way of humbling an angler.
Yeah, that's
Just
for
you
sure.
think, man, ain't nothing stopping me.
No, it'll shut you down real quick.
Yep.
Alex is asking a question. What's the to-go-to bait this time of year for the big blues and flatheads?
Flatheads, I'm going with bluegill, shad, live, or big skipjack head cut.
Yeah.
If I could keep the skipjack alive, I'd be throwing them alive, but they do not do good.
Big blues are on the nest, so I'd recommend maybe a stick of dynamite.
Just suspend over top of them, find that nest, and suspend them forever. You just sit
Alex,
over top of them and keep jogging around.
Alex, for us here in South Carolina, brother, I'm going to get me some big American eel with some bluegill.
I need some of that eel to try.
It works,
Brian
brother.
said him and Josh either do real good or they suck.
Depends on how frustrated we get. If we drag it, we get frustrated.
They go big or go home. So
that's for sure.
Yeah.
10 or bust is what we call it.
Just the other day, we had some American eel, man. Them things was every bit of over 2.5, 3 inches, just round. Huge.
See, I like them real pretty. They're sunfish.
Green sunfish.
Yeah.
Every
I really love them.
I'm like, man, this thing's so beautiful. It looks like it needs to be in an aquarium.
Yeah, but I think flatheads really love them.
They do. They're really lively. The end of your line's dancing like this the whole time. You're like,
yeah,
man,
like a good palm size one,
putting out some action. And you can have that thing on the line all night long, and he's still alive at the end of the night. Those bluegill ain't like that.
Yeah, that and red horse. I forget about red horse, but that's a secret bait around here. Red horse suckers are real good for flatheads.
Yeah. Yeah. Just Dragon says gizzard shad for blues and bluegill for flatheads. We've been up at Texoma just freaking laying waste to them with white bass. It's one of our only lakes where we're allowed to use it.
That's a good bait here.
I sling, I'm one of those guys that slings giant baits.
White bass, ask Micah. That's what he loves.
I love white bass. I've caught thousands of giant fish on them.
I like yellow bass.
Yellow bass good too. Equally as good.
Crappie.
Hybrids, all good.
The bad thing about crappie is you got to use 10-inch or bigger here, and that's pretty good size bait.
Yeah, and they don't stay on the hook as good as white bass or striped bass. Those things you can fish with all day long, catch 10 fish over 40 pounds on the same bait. Now the bait looks like it's been hammered with a sledgehammer by the end of the day, but you're still catching fish on them.
Too bad they won't let us use the crappie and bass here.
Yeah, we got it made pretty good here in Tennessee.
They don't let you speed though either, right?
Do what?
They don't allow you to speed there either, right?
Shoot, they ain't got me yet.
Well, we ain't speeding nowhere. We do about 37 miles an hour. So we'll eventually get there.
Yeah, you're not supposed to pee in the lake either. So I've been known to pee in the lake.
I've been known to drop a deuce in the lake too. Time hits.
Hey, you got to do what you got to do, bro.
Yeah. Good
Yeah,
God.
big blues. They a lot of times a big blue is more interested in the size of the bait than the actual cut of or the type of bait. They're looking for a certain size that they prefer to eat, that they key in on. I always hear big blues or elephants love peanuts, and I used to fish with small baits, but as soon as I went big, my giant fish production went through the roof. It's crazy how many more big fish I catch now going big. I still throw some small baits just because certain days they want something small and I want to make sure I got it out there. But 90% of our fish over 50, and we catch a bunch over 50, they all come off our biggest, baddest bait, usually.
Got a little big bait.
That's it.
I like big baits, and I cannot lie.
You can hardly ever get me to cut a small piece of bait.
You know, we're not catching a whole lot of fish under 30 pounds. We do catch some 20s. I'm just
not
not
out there. I'm a trophy fisherman before.
I'm not
anything.
interested in small fish. And
Yeah.
I mean, we catch close to 200 fish over 30 pounds every year. So
We'll start out there and let's go up from 50 up.
Well, that one you can give to my brother because that's all his is at.
I knew you were gonna say that.
well,
He's mad about that.
come down this winter, and I said, well, you come on down, we'll get you PV. And then y'all ran into all these damn boat problems, and
Yeah.
I gotta freaking pay for all this broken down shit.
His flathead and his blue are the same exact weight on PBs. He has a 55.7 pound flat and blue.
Nice.
Yeah, those are good fish. Evan, what's up, buddy? Welcome in, man. Slime time, baby.
Man, I don't know about you, Brandon. I'm ready to get to the water and let's start throwing some big flatheads in the boat, brother.
Yeah. I thought about going live on the boat tonight, but I didn't have enough time to get out and get bait and go on the boat. But it's ready to go.
I'm now that we've got the boat back, it's time to start slinging them.
Yeah, I finally got all my lights wired in for this fall or nighttime bite. Finally swapped over to lithium batteries on the trolling motor, so
You'll like those, brother.
yeah, I'm loving them already, especially when we had all that wind. Come back and put them on charge, and they're still at 70-something%. And I'm like, you can't beat that.
Yeah, Josh, we'll be sending them out to.
Yeah, we're gonna be sending that one right to them.
Yeah, them lithium's definitely a game changer. Which
They are.
we went to a different style battery for our graph too. We're not running a 12 volt no more. Running a 16.8 volt lithium, 32. And
Were you having some drainage issues?
No,
We,
just the clarity.
just the clarity.
Yeah, the clarity's so much better with that 16.8 volt because it all day long, just on a 32 amp hour battery, that Solix 10 we got on the boat, it'll barely use 10%. That's being on all day, dragging with the
So
map.
your graph is clearer?
Oh, yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. You'd have to try that one day.
I'm going to. You know, most guys come on my boat and they're like, "How do I get my?" Because I run a Helix, a Gen 2 Helix, and I got buddies with Solix, and like, can you make mine look like this? I'm like, no, I can't. I run a Helix. I know how to tune my Helix. I'm a wizard on the Helix, but I can't do your Solix. And my buddy got the new Apex, and he's like, I got these Apex, and man, your 10-year-old's Gen 2 freaking Helix looks better than mine. I'm like, well, I don't know what to tell you, man. I can't freaking tune that thing. Go get a Helix. I'll have you dialed in.
I was gonna say I might have a picture. I don't know if you can get it and post it or not. Trying to see if I got one of it up. I took one the other day.
My buddy that owns the Fish on Marine Electronics, he's an installer, owns a shop. He's like, man, you need to get down here and get you a graph. The Humminbird's running a $500 rebate right now. You get you another 12 to match your 12. You can have dual 12s on your console, and it's $500 off. It's like $2,100 for 12. I'm like, dang,
They're expensive.
They are
cheap compared to what I paid for mine 10 years ago. I'm like, yeah, it's gone down.
Well, I ended up finding this one that I got on Marketplace. An old man had it on his boat, and his son was just selling it for him. Heck, it only had 29 hours on it. Had the transducer hadn't even been mounted. He was using it with the trolling motor. So the transducer still had the wrapper on it, and I gave, I think, $1,800 for it. For the Solix 10.
Yeah, Josh, the transducer has to be level for sure. Yeah. And, it makes a big difference on where you place the transducer. And every boat is different. Every boat I've ever had's been different. Some of them like them on the strake. Some of them hate it on the strake. The boat I currently like loves it on the strake. Humminbird tells you don't mount it on the strake because there's turbulence that comes off that. I'm like, that's the smoothest spot that I could find on mine, and I get a crystal clear picture from it. The level has to do with what the level that you're graphing at. So if you're sitting dead in the water, you're like this. Start moving, you're more like this. So you want your transducer to match what you graph, the speed that you're graphing at. And I tell guys when you're mounting them, I put a piece of marine board on mine. So when I was getting it dialed in, I could move that thing around without punching holes in my hull.
And you also got to be careful not to get the rooster tail. You got to mount it in the right spot where you don't get that rooster tail off of it. Then
and you want to keep it away from your bunks so that if you overshoot your trailer, you don't knock your transducer off the back. So.
And then, of course, when you're sitting there trolling, make sure you're going to lift up your motor so you can see both sides of the boat. A lot of people don't get that.
All things that I've learned since graphing over the last 25 years. So. This guy right here, he learns the hard way.
Yeah. Just doing it.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff we learned, there wasn't no YouTube. Now there ain't nothing you can't freaking figure out with YouTube these days.
Well, don't go ask this new AI thing to take you a picture of a blue catfish or a flathead, because it ain't nothing even remotely near what it is.
Yeah.
But they say it can make you any picture you want. That ain't true.
Justin, all I can say is my buddy's got a Garmin, and I mean, I'm partial to Humminbird. I've been running Humminbird for 20 years, but I did have a boat that came with a Lowrance, $high Lowrance, and I thought when I got the boat, I'll just keep this. I didn't have it for a week. I'm like, no, gotta have the Humminbird. To me, Humminbird is very easy to deal with. maybe it's just because I've been using them for so long, but the picture on mine is crystal clear. I can tell you exactly what the fish is, how much it weighs within 5 pounds. I love my hummingbird, so I can't tell you how,
Yeah, I ran Lowrance for the longest time. And Hummingbird just way better. Which I don't know about the new HD Pros. I know Mike has
I
got
think
his.
a lot of them at this point are very similar. It's just the interface is different. Some of them are more user friendly than others. I got buddies that have the Garmin, and they're like, "Damn, I need to go back to Hummingbird after fishing on your boat." But I've got guys that swear by their Lowrance, or.
Oh yeah,
What was that one that Mike had just put on his?
I'm pretty sure he put the HDS Pro 12 and 9 on his.
I thought that's the one I.
My buddy's got 2 Apex 19s, and I will tell you right now, I've never seen a graph better. It's freaking amazing. The clarity, the detail that you can see on a 19-inch screen is it's incredible.
Yeah, they really picked up that resolution.
Oh man, he's like, man, you come fish and dial this thing in. Help me dial this thing in. Like, well, you're going to have to run the interface, and I'll tell you which way to go up with everything. And we went and dialed it in, and we were seeing like 30-pound blues and their whiskers. You could see the whiskers on them on side image. I'm like, holy crap. Crazy. The detail, it's not just your transducer. When you got a 19-inch screen, it's pixelation. You got double the pixels as a 15. When you go from 15 to 12, you got double the pixels with a 15. So every time you go up in a size, the detail increases astronomically.
I could imagine putting one of them 19s on the boat.
He's got 2 of them. 2.
I'd be wanting to watch TV on them.
That's me.
It's different than like mine because it'll all interface and you can run video and stuff, Wi-Fi and all kinds of cool stuff that mine won't do. But they're also over $5,000 a piece. I'm like, damn, son.
I'd love to check in on one of those one day.
Yeah, it's cool running it because you can put the left. I'm like, man, we're going to scan, and I'm going to put the left side of the boat on this Apex 19-inch, and I'm going to put the right side on this, and it ain't even fair.
Yeah, I bet it ain't.
I mean, you can see every little bump on the bottom. With a 12, you can't really – sometimes it's hard to determine what it is you're looking at on the bottom. This, it's like, okay, that's a rock. That's a twig. That looks like a ball of string on a stump. It's crazy.
Yeah, that guy I fished with, Josh, he's got an Apex 13 on there. And just the clarity on it is crazy.
No, Josh, so the bigger the screen, the less pixelated. You have more pixels. You have double the pixels. It becomes a much more detailed picture. The smaller the screen, the more you're going to see each individual pixel. So, like my buddies that run a 7, I mean, you're talking about 8 pixels on a 20-pound fish. When you go up to a 19, now you're talking about 300 pixels or 1,000 pixels on a 30-pound fish. The detail with 1,000 pixels on a 30-pound fish, I mean, you can start to see the upper fin, the whiskers.
And don't be telling him that he's going to be putting a 19 on his boat now.
Jamie's I can see the wheel turning. Jamie's like, okay, I got to sell this many weights, this many rigs. All right. I'm going to have to go get me a.
I'm already thinking about who I want to go and see and talk about one already.
Yeah. Make me think about selling mine and getting another one.
Oh man, when I saw his, I'm like, damn. If I was rich,
That's what
Yeah.
I'm talking about.
you know,
Yeah, if I was rich.
some of my buddies that are professional bass fishermen, they got 3 of them. So they got one in the center, one on the right, and one on the left. I'm like, damn, that costs more than my first brand new pickup that I bought. Like, that costs more than my whole boat.
Man,
Yeah.
some of these boys are running 6 of them on their boats, man. It's just crazy.
That's my boy Voskin right there. He says, come on over, guys.
I'll be giving you a call, brother.
Not me. I'll stay away from there for a while. My old lady would kill me.
I hope Rebecca's not listening right now.
I haven't seen her in the chat, so maybe she's not.
She's probably in there just knocking out decals, hopefully, instead of listening to me thinking about spending money.
Hey,
Yeah.
you work for it right now, you might as well spend it.
In screen size, you get double the pixels. So, you know, if you're moving up from a 12 to a 15, the clarity will increase double. You move up from a 15 to a 19. Now you're starting to have like HD side image. It's insane.
When they gonna come out with a 25 or a 32 or?
Right? I'm thinking, man, guys soon are going to have their big screens.
They might as well not
Only
even
if we
put a
can take the
windshield on
TVs
the
off the
boat no
wall.
more.
Oh, man.
You won't even have a windshield no more. It'll just be the TV screen in front of you.
Josh
Yeah,
was,
mine's
Josh
the
was
same
saying
way,
my-
Brandon. I got mine so dialed in, it's clear as a bell. I mean, when I'm standing at the back fishing, I look. All I got to do is look back. Tell my buddy we got a 55 that's 57 feet to the left side of the boat. If it goes down, it's going to be that second or third planer board. You know.
Heck yeah. I'm
Josh,
ready to
my-
get some fishing.
That's a lot of hours of graphing to figure all that stuff out. That's like learning Swahili.
yeah.
It really is. The graphing part of catfishing is probably one of the most time-consuming, longest learning pieces of the puzzle.
Oh yeah.
And when you think you've got,
Buddies been doing it a long time, they don't have. They're like, man, I thought I knew. I didn't know. You know.
I learn something new about it almost every time we take it. When you think you know everything about it, you don't.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, I got guys that come on the boat that are like really, you know, licensed technicians for Humminbird, and they teach me stuff. I'm like, how did you figure this stuff out? They're like, I had to freaking go to class to learn all this stuff. I'm like,
VR goggles.
I just figured out this stuff on the water. It'd take me 40 years to learn all that.
Yep. Josh,
That's
is
another
you right?
reason why I don't want to switch. I'm like, man, it took me forever to learn this thing.
Oh, you like that touch screen?
Yeah, well, my buddy got the Solix, and he's like, come fix my Solix to look like yours. And I'm like, I couldn't even adjust it. I'm like, I don't know how to operate this thing, man.
Ain't much to them. They just like it. Just like a Helix almost, besides its touch, and you got a knob that does all your turning for you.
Yeah, I couldn't figure it out, but I was also ready to go fish after trying to mess with it for 10 minutes. So,
Oh yeah.
Junkie says VR goggles. Pretty soon we'll be fishing from the living room. We'll send out a drone boat with rigs.
No, I ain't doing that. I'm going to the water.
That's it.
Never stop learning. That's for sure. Being a successful trophy catfisherman at a high levels, like there's just a mountain that goes to it, and it's never ending.
And it's always something to try. Don't be
We're
afraid
always-
to try something.
Brandon, that's one thing. We're always wanting to try new things, man.
Yeah.
Even though we think we've got something dialed in, we're always wanting to tinker with it, make it better.
I always tell guys, don't be afraid to think outside the box. Just because these other guys are doing it a certain way doesn't mean it's the only way, man.
Definitely step out the box, get into your own.
But also remember what got you to that point. Don't never write that off.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Always have that in the back of your book for sure.
Yeah, I think when I first started running rattles probably 15 years ago, guys laughed at us, said catfish don't hear sound. I'm like, I don't know. We're catching a lot of fish on these dang rattles.
It's the vibration.
Something to it.
Yeah.
Then we started pulling planer boards about 8-9 years ago, and guys are like, "You troll for catfish?" Now everybody's trolling for catfish. It's
If I had a choice, I wouldn't be. I'd be on the rope every time I get out.
That's how we all fish. I mean, I fished on that rope for 20 years. It's just a lake guy. Being a lake guy, I wanted to try something different. I was sick of dropping anchors. We'd have to drop anchors in 50 foot of water in the winter. I'm like, smart trolling motor. Maybe I can pull with this thing. Turns out you can pull. You can. I fished with Zach. I don't know. It's been 9 years, and he was suspending baits with his planer boards. I'm like, can you drag bottom with these? He's like, I don't see why not. It works. So,
heck yeah.
What guys say used to be a waste of your time, now, it's just a regular thing that people do. So,
yeah, I'd have never dreamed of dragging baits for catfish.
Nobody did. Everybody was an anchor.
Brandon, here on the river, down here towards Myrtle Beach, people ask us all the time, man, what in the world are you doing? I mean, you're pulling boards and you're dragging the Great PD River. We've never seen nothing like that. We're like, yeah, man. We're going to sit here and go over all the top of these big trees. We're going to drag over them, and we're going to catch catfish on the backside on the drop downs.
Yeah.
Catfish Junkie says you have a better chance of catching fish with bait in the water.
That's good.
There is some bait in the water. There's also something too being on fish, and I think being on a graph and learning that graph. I hear so many guys on Facebook say, "Yeah, if I had a graph, I'd catch big fish every time," and that's just not the case. You have to have all that other base knowledge before that graph even becomes a useful tool.
Yeah.
You got to know the territory that you're in for sure. I mean, you've got to know some background on it. You've got to know, been fishing it for a while just to go ahead and give you that little bit of knowledge on it.
Yeah, you got to understand the bait migration, the fish migration, the seasonal pattern, the weather pattern. Yeah. And then and then they all coincide and change. Yeah. Dang, he just flipped on us. How did he do that? He's a magician.
I'm a Houdini, brother.
Go get little bro.
We're making magic happen every day. How about that?
Josh says Brandon is just fish smart.
I can be. I try to see what they're doing. I do a lot of reading. When I'm laying here nighttime, ain't nothing else on TV. I get to reading. I didn't do that in high school, but I do it now.
The better you get, the longer you've been doing it. You've been doing it a long time, like all of us. Can you just pretty much know where the fish are going to be now?
No. Cumberland River is, I'm going to tell you what, Cumberland River will disappoint you to the fullest. It is the most weirdest fished river I've ever fished. It'll disappoint any angler that thinks they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Big time.
Brandon, that Cumberland River sounds like the Great PD here, man. When you think you've got it figured out, it's going to throw a curveball at you every time.
Yeah.
That's what you get about at a lot of places, boys.
And it's like, you can be on it one day,
I hear guys say if you figure out that lake, you'll be good anywhere. I hear guys
Yeah.
say you can go do well on Texoma, you go anywhere. There's, there are easier places to fish. I think to go get some of these hey,
Little man's in here.
What it say, buddy?
the micro catfish hunter.
That one right there is going to be definitely catching the big one shortly.
This one right here won't go fishing, but he likes fishing.
Nice.
I'm afraid of water.
Yeah, he says
Yeah.
he's afraid of water.
You got your hands full, man.
I do.
There you go.
Don't pretend you do all the work.
That's your next one right there, buddy. Going to be catching some big flatheads.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
Larry it says even with graphs, I have set on some picks for a couple hours, and if they ain't hungry, it ain't gonna happen.
Tell him.
When you get really good at graphing and understanding fish, it makes it a little easier to move off of those fish to go find another group. When the old school guys would say, you don't leave fish if they're here to go catch fish. But I think if you're really good at finding fish and you understand your graph, you can always come back to that group and see if they're biting later if you're confident in that you can go find fish. I know I can go on pretty much any of our fisheries. I can find 5 decent groups of fish. One of those is going to be biting better than the rest.
And you're right, Chris. It can depend on certain times of the day or night. Those fish moving off and back onto that spot, man, to where you can really catch up on them.
Larry says it's a love-hate relationship river.
Yeah. He's up on the Old Hickory part up in the Nashville area. Old Hickory is my nemesis. I hate Old Hickory. That is a lake I hate.
Man,
AI says, just caught my new PB Flathead, weighed 19 pounds.
congratulations, buddy.
Heck
19
yeah.
still
a good
pulls hard, man. That's a great fish.
Congratulations.
You're on TV.
and Brandon, I don't know about you, man, but I love when you catch a flathead, looking at the spots on them. I mean, every flathead looks different, man. And how nice they look with the spots and different colorations on them and stuff like that.
Take him back.
We're all flipping around.
Oh,
I'm trying to change something up here.
you got him?
He's bait sized right now. That's not going to last long.
Yeah, no, he's going back to bed.
They don't stay like that too long.
No, he's growing like crazy.
Yeah, you're about to get into the fun part, though, where they start getting into everything.
Oh, he's already there. He's
How old
growing
is he?
like crazy.
How old is he? 6 months?
He is 7 months. I think
Yep.
He's going to be 8 months.
Jackson was running around the house at 8, freaking full on. I mean, he was
This other one,
walking,
man,
running and climbing the wall. I mean, he was a climber too. So get
Well, this
ready,
is-
buddy.
yeah, it's already here.
That's the part where you have to go get the locks for the kitchen drawers.
Yeah. Well, I got to keep him out of my fishing room because I got hooks everywhere, and he's crawling now. So,
Oh man, that would be bad, brother.
yeah, so we got to keep him out of here right now. He can only come in here when I'm in here. But yeah, them camo, I call them camo cats.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're cool looking.
They got I like them, the real light color ones, the ones that look yellow almost and then got black dots all over them.
Yeah.
I
Man,
took
they
a
pretty.
picture. I was fishing nighttime one day, evening, and I had nothing but camouflage on. I took a picture of it, and I was out there by myself, so I flipped the camera around, set it up on the dash of the boat, took it, and you couldn't even tell I was holding the fish. It was so exact similar colors to the
Some of
camouflage.
those pictures you sent me are some giant flatheads. You couldn't even see the fish because you were wearing a camo coveralls.
Yeah. Actually, I think one of them was one of the pictures that I sent you.
Yeah. Yeah, I should have downloaded those and put them on.
We put up a nice picture last night on TikTok, a video of a nice flathead we caught on Santee just last week or so. That was beautiful. I mean, a beautiful, nice flathead that come from Santee. And just the spots and how it just looked was just amazing.
Yeah, that's what I like about them. That and the fight. Once they get up, straight up and down with the boat.
Yeah.
You talking about a fight. They do not want to come off the bottom.
Yeah, they like to stay down.
Yeah, that one we caught suspended right beside the boat. It had the Mad Cat rod just buried, right beside the boat.
And it's crazy on them suspended bites like that. You'll just feel the thump.
Yep.
And then look over and the rod's touching the water.
When you see about half of that rod in the water, it's like, oh yeah, this is gonna get good.
Yeah.
But that carbine rod, man, it done its job. It really did.
I love the carbines.
Yep.
Yeah, they've really grown on me.
Yeah, they've got a totally different feel, man.
They're so different when you first start using one. I thought, well, I didn't have any complaints with my other ones. I mean, it's not like I'm looking for something different to make them better. I mean, to me, I love my other rods, but now that I've fished with them, they're nice. And, I think that Positrack handle's pretty awesome.
Yeah. We got about 7 of them, man, and that's the first rod I'll go to start putting them out. I mean, I love them rods.
Well, I heard on Micah's rod's coming out pretty soon, so I can't wait to see what it looks like.
Yeah, I'm definitely hearing some stories, that's for sure. I'm getting hyped up for that one.
Yeah, he gave me a few hints when he was on the show. Made me promise I wouldn't tell, but sounds like it's going to be an interesting ride, kind of unique. So,
yeah, I think it'll do very well with what I do.
Yep. Can't wait to get my hands on one of them, that's for sure.
Yeah. I wonder if it's going to.
What's a typical flathead day? 3 to 5 fish? Is that a good flathead day?
For me, 1 over 40 is good for me. But
yes, sir.
Yeah.
That's good for
anybody. I can tell you if you will probably get skunked once or twice. I can probably tell you that.
I get skunked a bunch when I'm flathead fishing.
Yeah. It won't happen every time. But if you're normally catching 2 or 3 over 40
I think
or
that's
30,
a good trip.
That's a good trip.
I know, like my guide buddies, when they're really biting good, they'll say, you get 8 or 10 of them, and you're they're on. They move maybe 10 to 12 anchors on a full day's trip.
Yeah,
and not every place produces, but when you catch one, they say they would tell me, okay, when we get one, usually we'll get 2, maybe 3 out of the same spot. And then you move, and then you keep doing that, and they're fishing the same types of spots over and over and over because you catch the fish out of there, and another one moves in pretty soon right behind it. They like that high value real estate.
Yeah. When you're going for some of the trophy size, don't be disappointed. I mean, if you don't catch one, I mean, you're going to have those trips, especially when you're trying to go for those 60 or 70 pound fish. Last year, myself and Rebecca, when she caught that one, I believe it was around 70, 72 pounds. One fish come out that hole, and that was it.
Well, you got to think on a flathead, they're territorial fish. One that big will run them any of the other ones off.
Yeah.
Yeah, Justin, it's not like blues where on a good day catching blues, you may get 15 over 20 with a 60, a 50, and 540s. It's flathead fishing's not like that. You may get one really good one for the day, and then, some smaller ones.
And then you may not get one at all. You might get a bite. That's about it.
I got buddies that fish for them all the time, and they say sometimes you may go 2-3 trips without even catching one.
Yeah, and you can find them all day long,
and they go all the time. I mean, so
flatheads are probably the hardest catfish to figure out.
Yeah.
Just the way they move, how they move, what bait are they feeding on? Are they going to be stuck in the mud? They're going to be up moving. It's one of them things where just put the line in the water and do a little waiting game.
Brandon, let me ask you a question. Your honey holes 2 years ago, you've got holes from 2 years ago. Are you still producing nice flatheads out of those holes right now?
Yes.
Because I've got two that you can almost feel that you're going to catch a flathead out of it almost every time you go to them. And we try to save those for tournament fishing, and those normally produce. And I can probably tell you, the last 3 years, those have been good holes for us at certain times of the night.
That's one thing with flatheads. I think they have their territory set to where they're going to be at certain times of the year. They're not moving far from it.
No.
Not a big flathead. Now, I'll say the littler flatheads probably do venture off, get in their own territory, and start growing up.
Brandon, here's something interesting that I learned from Epic Catfish when he come on. Because I'm like, my buddies that catch really big ones catch the same fish over and over a multiple year period. He's like, yeah, that's somewhat the case until they get to a mega size. And then they become a migratory. He's like, they move so far with these big water movements, but you got to have a lot of open. It can't be a closed river system with locks and all this stuff. They when they travel, they want to move out of the big river way up into these smaller tributaries, basically like where he's fishing, secondary tributaries coming off Mississippi.
Yeah.
And to catch 100-pounders. And I'm like, to me, that was foreign information. I had no idea, He's like, yeah, the fish that I target up here, they're not here most of the year. They're down in the big river, and then they migrate up 100 miles. I'm like, damn. Okay, well.
Yeah, I don't see them.
I know about them. I thought they stayed in the same spot. And he's like, no, the small, what he calls a smaller one would probably what we call big. But I know buddies that catch the same fish 3 or 4 times the same year out of the exact same spot.
Yeah, me and my brothers caught the same fish out of the same hole.
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool that they.
Or it'd be right across the river.
Prone to people harvesting them out of there, and then they're gone. But from what I understand, when you pull a big one out, another big one, generally similar or little, maybe similar size, will move back into that same hole because it's a real estate thing for flatheads.
See, I like when the winter pool hits, and the water drops here, and I can see the bank where I'm fishing usually is out of the water.
Yeah.
And when I got a photographic memory, so I'll sit here, oh, look at that hole, that hole, that hole. And I won't even mark it on the graph. I just looking at it and be like, yeah, I know where I'm coming back to when the water comes up.
Yeah. That's kind of what the what some of these other guys have said. They're like, okay, well, I kind of know basically on how the flow is, and that's where they would determine where they're going to fish for giants
Yeah.
on the
And
flow.
Chris, like us, we've had a lot of high water back in the winter. Now the rivers are getting right, and they're constantly changing. Some of the stuff that that, like you were saying, Brandon, you were seeing when the water was low, when you're getting all these rivers that's flooding, that's moving new structure in, that's moving structure out, just doing a lot of stuff underneath the banks and stuff. I love seeing when that water goes back down, like y'all, remembering what stuff used to look like, what it looks like now and stuff. And it's like the river's just it's always just changing all the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the river changes here a lot, but there's 2 banks that I know of. Past 3 years, it hasn't changed, but it's due to the barges. The way the barges come through, everything will pile up on that one side, so it's just major structure over there. And then you go to the other side where they're turning, and all that blowout from the barge, all it is like sand, mud. There won't be no structure there. And you go right across the bank, and there's so much structure there, you're like, do I want to put all my tackle in this tree, or do I just not want to?
Let me ask you, do you have a lot of those underwater, what we call cutouts and little caves up underwater that cuts up underneath the banks and stuff up in your area?
Yeah, we do have some. Our river is a real silky, like sand, mud bottom.
Mm-hmm.
We get a lot more holes. Trees and holes is what we get a lot of. You get a few little caves underwater, but not many.
I know the Great Speedy River, depending on, like I said, with all a lot high water we've had, in the past years, has eat out some of them up under the bank areas, and it's pushed some of that structure right up to it almost. And when that water drops down, you're able to get right up on that bank, able to put some bait kind of up underneath the bank almost on the backside of the structure that's not washed up in them.
Yeah.
And normally catch a few big, nice flatheads out of them areas. So I love learning, especially after big floods, relearning the river,
Yeah.
learning new spots and stuff for sure.
Yeah. A lot of the corners and banks like that we got here are usually going to have rock bluff. The inside bends are a lot of mud, a lot of cutouts. It's a lot of trees, but usually most of the outside bends where the current will be really flowing, most of them have rock in them, like a bluff wall or bluff rocks, something like that. So it doesn't change as much as it does on the less current side, is what I call it.
I know when you leave South Carolina and start hitting up in the North Carolina part, that's when you get into a lot more of those boulders, those rocks and stuff. Here towards the coast, we don't have quite as much as that. We've got more, of the structure and, stuff like that, and don't have as many boulders and stuff. And,
I get a lot of people. I don't fish rock as much. I did one year, a buddy of mine, we went out and was suspending baits over rocks, but I'm usually in the mud, trees. I'm looking for the bait up on the shallow bank. That's what I like to do.
I got buddies that fish both ways, and I gotta say, they hammer them in rocks, they hammer them in trees. I think they just like that cover. Flatheads love rocks. I mean,
Yeah, I've caught a few in the rocks, not very many, which we don't have a lot of rock, but
yeah,
the rock we do have, we've caught fish in them, but nothing big.
when
20, 25 pounds.
usually right next to the riprap.
Yeah.
I gotta think I'm close to their home right there.
Yeah.
So
Dragging flatheads up is a total different bite to me than any other.
it's just luck for me. It's not like I'm targeting them.
Yeah.
I just get lucky and catch a few every year.
Well, the bite, the takedown on a dragon bite compared to a blue takedown
Yeah.
is totally different. You won't even know you're getting a fish. You'll think you're getting snagged.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like you
Yep.
said,
A lot of times when I got one on, I look up and my line's like, it's like up towards the side of the boat. I'm like, well, I know that's a fish. And you crank down on it and it's flathead. He's just got it. He's going off wherever the heck he wants to go.
Yeah.
like you were saying earlier, Brandon, it's you will find one here and there that's gonna take it and just go, but majority of the time, like you said, man, it's just that slow roll of that rod going down that when you've got one.
Yeah, it's like they're sizing it up.
Yep. And I saw a comment in chat a while ago. I've seen this also myself. That flathead could test out one or two baits on a rod before he actually commits to a rod also.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that happen. He'll go from the outside rod all the way to the inside rod and be on my brother's side where it bites.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I've seen that.
Yeah. And that's a lot of people be like, man, that's strange, but that's the way them flatheads are. They'll test it one or two out before they commit to one.
Yep. They like a certain way.
Yep. I've seen them go one night, loves to go for the smaller, size bluegill. Some nights they might go for the great big ones, it just depends on guess what mood they're in that night.
I call the flathead the smart fish of the river.
You right, man. Them things, they can outsmart you sometimes for sure.
Yeah.
And now you find yourself, we were talking about this last night. Do you find yourself as the night gets later, moving closer up towards the bank, kind of keep, inching along until you finally hit that shallow part of the bank? Or do you normally...
I'm shallow most of the time. My brother hates it when I captain the boat because I'll put the boat 10 foot, 15 foot from the bank. And he's like, why are we doing this? I said, don't worry about it. You're fishing outside of the river. I'm going to fish the bank. And that's usually where the big fish come from, is the bank. Because that's where they come up. They're coming up in the night, coming up in that shallow water, grabbing that bait.
Well, let me ask you this. 12 o'clock at night. What's your level of water that you're in?
5 to 10 foot.
That's it. Yep. That's prime area, man.
Maybe 15 at the most, depending on where it's at, if there's anything less. But usually 5-10 feet, I'll have at least 4 rods up there.
Yep. Now, some areas, man, depending on where I'm trying to target flatheads, I actually might turn the boat and aim it towards the hill. That way, I'm just like you were just saying, I'm covering water from 1 foot all the way down to 15 foot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From the back of the boat to the front of the boat, I'm fishing all different depths like that just to see, and the majority of the time it's that 5 to 2 to 3 foot range where I normally catch a lot of my fish around that 12 o'clock at nighttime.
Yeah. And then the early morning, say you're out there 4, 5, 6 a.m. when that bite's really fixing to start ramping up in the morning. I like to stay in that, I'm going to say between 8 and 20 foot.
Yep.
Just when they're starting to push back out of the shallows. And that's where you get a lot of times when they start testing that bait going out the rods.
That's
They'll
it.
grab that one, move to the next rod, grab it a little bit, move to the next. Then they'll finally take it once they get that last one in there.
Yeah, that right before the sun starts coming up, I found that 14 to 20 has always been very, very good prime, for a good flathead right before that sun comes up.
Yeah, I lost one of the biggest ones I ever had on at the back of the boat. It was about a 5:30 in the morning. It was a tournament. Me and Brian was fishing it. Didn't bring the big net with us that night, and he got wrapped up in 4 lines. It was terrible, and had him up to the side of the boat. Brian reached down, grabbed the leader line, was trying to pull him up, which his whole tail had 4 lines wrapped up in it. And man,
We
I'll never
actually
forget that day.
we actually was fishing a tournament. Got to the first spot early in the morning. Had the winning flathead. We ended up getting it in the boat that won us the tournament, wrapped up in the anchor.
Oh
On the back
man.
of the anchor, man. We fought that fish forever, and we got it on video where Rebecca finally ended up reaching her hand down by the anchor as we pulled the anchor up. The fish was coming up at the same time. She grabbed the fish, and we had to get it off the anchor rope. That was a
Yeah.
heck of a tournament to start off with.
We were so anxious on that one, we didn't think about hitting the reels and letting the line go out because he was at the back of the boat, but I couldn't pull him no more because all the other lines had done got hung up. So he reached down and grabbed him, and when he did, it just 100-pound leader line. He did one twirl, and he was gone. He was in all them lines. My brother's over here trying to reel on these other rods, trying to figure out if he was still in that line, stuck in it. He was throwing out a hook, trying to snag it. It was one of the biggest flatheads I've ever seen. And I've seen quite a few big ones.
I bet that made the rest of the day very long for y'all.
Yeah, because that would have won the tournament.
Man.
Just that one fish. But the buddy, we had a buddy upriver from us probably 100 yards, and he could hear it. I just sat down. I didn't even want to fish no more. I just sat down and I told him, I said, I'm done until we go weigh in. It was bad. That was a big old fish head come up out of the water.
Wow. Man, I hate when that happens.
Like, it had shoulders on it like 80-pound bluewood. I knew it was a big old fish. It took a piece of skipjack chunk. I guarantee you it's 4 to 5 inches wide. And I never thought that piece of skipjack would have got hit.
It's always the one you don't think that's going to get hit. It's the one that's going to get nailed, man.
Yeah. Yeah, because it started off with the head on the inside rod. Bad thing is how much I can remember this night. And it still haunts me till this day. It started off with the head on the inside rod, and it was about 3 rods over. It hit. And I wish I could have got that one in the boat.
How many times have you gone back to that spot trying to find that fish?
Multiple times. That little area that I caught that one in is a good flathead hole. It's got a cove. It's got a creek right below it. Bait's just usually all over it. So,
man, you'll end up getting them, brother.
Oh yeah, I'm going for that record. 85 pounds is what I'm going for. I need 86.
There you go, man. I hope y'all boys definitely get it this year, man. I'm excited. I know I'm excited to see what y'all going to be pulling in this year, man. I know y'all going to be on some big ones for sure.
Yeah, I'm just ready to get a few lighter days at work if this rain will stop. This grass keeps growing too quick.
Oh man. Tell me about it.
And now it's already 90 degrees outside. This grass is just shooting up with all this rain.
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping we can get the season started off. If we get to go tomorrow night, I'm hoping we can get the season kicked off for sure.
Yeah, flathead should be on. I know that. I'm ready to get on them. I'm ready to do some nighttime fishing.
Yeah, that's what we're
ready for the bugs.
Yeah, them bad boys gonna be kicking up for sure, man. Them mayflies and all that mess. Oh my god.
Mosquitoes and mayflies, boy. Whew, make me want to turn my blue lights off on the back of the boat.
Actually, I will go stealth mode when them bad boys The only time I'll kick him back on if we get a fish.
Yeah. Which I put 2 regular 4-inch LED pods in the back, just white light, that I'm going to be trying out this year too. That way the bugs will stay in the back of the boat.
Yep.
And not on top of me.
Well, we actually trying out last year. We put the underwater lights on the back of the transom, one on each side of the motor. That way I can leave those on. We're actually trying those out, and it seems to be helping a lot, where it's bright enough on that water where we don't have to turn the lights on the light.
Yeah.
So I love them underwater lights.
Well, I do have one of the Mad Cats over here that's supposed to
Rechargeable.
yeah, you charge it with the black light.
Yeah.
Which I'm pretty sure it's a prototype because it doesn't have nothing on it. But it's supposed to be, if you charge it with the black light or the UV light, it'll stay shining for 4 to 5 hours.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll take the bright lights, Mr. Chuck's bright lights, put on the end of the poles here shortly, and use those rechargeable ones. Man, they'll help save you a lot from those mosquitoes and lights and all them bugs with them bright lights.
Yeah, I got them somewhere in the tackle box right now. I keep them in there. I've had them in there from the first Catapalooza when he came out with them.
Yep. There you go.
They're awesome, guys.
And I tell you, man, you can fish a long time with those lights on one charge.
He said 50 hours they were still going strong.
Yep. And he's right, man. We put them bad boys up at CatCon. We put them on display, man, and used the same one the whole time.
Man, I'm freaking chomping at the bit to freaking get bend some rods.
Yeah, me and you both. I'm ready for this weekend.
This kid's sports stuff is killing me.
Well, I tell you what, man, maybe we can kick it off, man. I'm hoping me and Mama gets to go tomorrow night for sure. It's been pretty busy, so we hadn't had a lot of time to do anything.
I'm going bluegill
Maybe
fishing.
I'll sneak off and go try to catch a freaking giant gator gar.
Now, I'd love to do that.
Oh, yeah.
Our rivers have been up so much you can't hardly get. They're hard to catch when there's that much flow.
Yeah, I'd love to catch one. We catch gar up here a lot, but there ain't nothing like that.
Yeah, they get giant here.
Yeah, they're
I'm
some
thinking
big old
about
boys.
heading up like Texoma and anchoring up on them. There's freaking big pods of them up there.
So are them new lights that you just showed, are they for the rods?
Yeah. So
They're
this
for the planer boards.
both. So let me pull it back up. That tube, you see that tube? You put that
I
on
got
your
the
rod.
old tubes, but I haven't got the rechargeable.
There's two of them plug into a USB. They charge. Then you pull that.
Yeah, them I'm gonna tell you, man, they really work for sure.
Well, I still got the old ones. I've had them since Catapalooza.
And that's what it looks like when you mount it onto the deal. So
Oh, okay.
they're a little different from the older ones, but
I'm gonna have to check them out.
Yeah, we put them up on display up at CatCon, and I'm gonna tell you, man, one charge. All we done was took them out the pack and put them on display, and never had to charge it at all.
Yeah.
So they're awesome.
Heck yeah, I'm gonna have to look at them. Chuck,
I know a guy.
I hear you. I met Chuck the first time down with Matt and them when we went to the first Catapalooza Matt went to down in Pigeon Forge. And that was when Chuck was actually getting them out, putting them out. And I've had them same original ones that he gave me that time in my tackle box. And they'll still. Is that red or is that orange?
That's actually our orange.
Yeah, I definitely need that.
And I can tell you, if I cut all the lights out, that thing would definitely have this whole
Yeah,
place
that's right.
lit up.
Well, he's got the glow show going on behind him, all them fancy lights.
Yeah,
keep
it's like
flashing.
a discotheque.
Looks like he's in the club back there.
Need some techno music.
I tell you, man, when the shop is your workplace, it's your club, it's your everything, because you spend more time in it. You might as well make it comfortable.
Yep.
We
Sure.
we actually spend more time in this shop than we do in the house.
I wish mine was the same way like that. I spend more time in a yard than I do anywhere.
We love it, man. We love it, man. When the customers they need it, we get it. There's the green ones right there.
See, them are bright,
Yeah, they're real bright.
really bright.
And all you got to do, man, is take that thing right here,
Yeah.
and I'll show it. There's the charger right here. Just pop it right inside that charger, plug it into the USB port, and go with it.
Huh. I ain't never checked them out. I knew he came out with them, but I really haven't looked at them.
Well, I tell
I'm
you,
not a
man.
light person until it gets nighttime fishing time, and then I forget to buy stuff.
Yeah, you didn't realize you needed them till you're out there.
Yeah.
We
Like,
sell
damn,
we
I should have
we
brought
sell
my
tons of.
You don't have to worry about messing with batteries and flipping them in and taking them out, flipping them over, and all that. So
Yep. We sell tons of them. So
Crazy.
Chuck,
I'll put that on the big screen.
let me pull it out there, Chris. And so Chuck
Crazy
over at
how
Bright,
they do stuff.
check him out, man. He's definitely got them. They bright, so you can get them without the charger, with the charger. Actually, if you buy 2 packs, you don't need but 1 charger.
Yeah.
Pretty much. But we offer it if you want chargers in every pack. We can. We got them. There you go.
So they just automatically turn on when you pull them out?
Yeah, just take that. When you charge it, it's like this.
Oh.
When
That's
you want it to run, you take this out, you flip it over, you stick it in there.
Oh, damn.
And then this mounts to, let's see. This you stick into another little piece so that it stays waterproof. So the other piece is like this.
Yeah, there's no more having to run to Walmart's and get the little rings, man. These right here last you 50.
This has a little rubber O-ring. You stick that in there, screw it down.
Oh, it screws in.
And that's good for 50 hours plus.
50 plus hours.
Well, you can't beat that.
And then the other one is red.
See, I'll be tying them onto the hooks.
I tell you, man, Chuck's got some great stuff over there. I'm glad. They, like I said, Chris turned it off there, man. They are.
I don't have a light on in here. It'll. I mean, it's bright, man.
It's glowing on the rods behind you.
Yeah. Them Mad Cat rods is lit up back there.
So pretty good thing Chuck's designed. Now there's some other guys that have come out with them since, but Chuck's an awesome dude.
I've always liked Chuck.
Support. Yep. We've been teamed up with him for a right good while now. Chuck is a very good supporter of Carolina Lake Weights, and if anybody needs them, guys, we've got them. We're stocked up on them, and we've got them ready to roll.
They charge like this: USB, 2 of them. Stick them in. If You know, I mean, you could stick one in your boat, and I think they charge in 30 minutes or something.
Yep. And
You got 50 hours on one charge.
Yep. And a lot of chargers, if we don't have the doubles, it's the single chargers.
Yeah.
They're good. They're good to go, man. I've had them. I've had some of them now for over a year, no problems. And they are definitely bright.
I'm definitely gonna check them out, especially for them nights with the bugs like crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I hate fishing a flathead bite.
And tell you the truth, Brandon, you could put one rod right beside the other one, and it's gonna light up 2 or 3 of them right beside it.
Yeah.
That's how bright they are, man.
Yeah, I gotta see that flathead bite. That's
So,
one.
Larry, you mount them. You can either mount them in your planer boards, which a lot of planer boards now have a mount hole, or you can mount them on your rod.
Yeah.
If you put them on your rod tip, like that.
Yeah, see, I still have them from the other ones.
Same way. You mount them the same way as the other ones. See, you mount that on your rod.
First time I had to try to use them, I had to
put that on your rod, and then you jam the light. The light jams down in it.
Yeah, it's a nice thing to have.
Like that. So this part would be on your rod tip where those holes are. And you got that part just off to the side.
Huh.
And if y'all ain't got them, everybody out there definitely get you some.
Yeah, check
Good
them
for the
out.
bug bite when there's too many bugs to turn lights on.
Yeah, mayflies get killer up here.
Oh man, fill a boat full of them in no time.
Fill the whole back of the boat up, be 2-3 inches thick. Not counting all the skipjack slime and blood laying back there they want to get into.
Wake up, get home the next morning, see the boat in the daytime, and it's like, oh my gosh.
Seeing the boat ain't the problem, it's smelling the boat. That's the problem. I got a weak stomach. I'll puke on that.
I tell you, man, we were down at Santee one night. I believe them things were 2 to 3 inches thick in the bottom of the boat, them mayflies.
Oh, yeah. No doubt. Mayflies is the worst thing at nighttime.
Yeah. What's up, Tom? What's up, buddy? Yeah, man. I tell you what, he's putting out some nice stuff, man, with that cutter he's got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's doing.
Anybody haven't checked it out, man? They need to definitely check Tubbs out, man. He's got some nice work with the metal and stuff that he's putting out there. Beautiful work.
I was gonna get him to make me one of them like he made Micah, but I'm planning on catching one bigger than what I got, so I'm gonna wait.
I got one for Jackson when he caught his 70, and then
yeah, he done a good job on that one, man. That was nice.
Yeah, no, he does some slick work.
my screen says I'm maxed out my screen time.
Yeah, I'm about to max out my bedtime.
All right, boys. Well, we've had a good time. Appreciate everybody stopping in. Brandon, appreciate you sharing your time with us.
Oh, yeah. Anytime.
Good times, man. You're welcome back anytime.
I
Jamie,
appreciate y'all having me on.
Good as always, man.
Brother, we appreciate having you, man. And like I said, guys, can't wait for the new segment to the slime show. Chris is going to be probably getting that ready to go here real soon.
Yeah.
We're going to bring one on every week and give them their PB decal. So we can't wait to get that started up. So we're excited, man. There it is.
Heck yeah.
So,
Can you make them in orange?
man, I can make them any color, brother.
Heck yeah. I need orange and black.
All right, guys. Appreciate everybody stopping in. I don't know. Can y'all still see me?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Okay.
Hey, and if anybody ever needs anything,
Appreciate everybody stopping in and spending some time with us tonight.
Yep.
Tight lines. God bless. Azul out.
see you.
Later, everybody.